I'm on a very dark road, can you show me the light? I'm the man, I should be the one that's holding you tight. I'm on a very dark road, I'm on a very dark road, can you show me the light? I'm the man, I should be the one that's holding you tight. I'm on a very dark road, can you show me the light? I'm the man, I should be the one that's holding you tight. I'm on a very dark road, can you show me the light? I'm the man, I should be the one that's holding you tight.
New Jersey.
Do you know what this wonderful country is made of? It's made up of 100 different kind of people, and 100 different ways of talking, and 100 different ways of going to church. But they're all American ways. Wouldn't we be silly if we went around hating people because they comb their hair different than ours? Wouldn't we be a lot of dopes?
Not just Sinatra, but also Donald Trump's favorite rocker.
It's a joke.
Okay, no joke. Our breaking story today comes from the governor's office in the Garden State, who is tapping into a mob mentality, if you will, to counter the rogue masked thugs of ICE. Welcome to Occupy Democrats, and please hit that subscribe button if you're voting to cap this aging capo in the midterm elections.
I'm proud to officially name the undisputed. When did this come out? The undisputed.
Yeah, boy, nothing to be concerned about, right? Oh, of course not. Okay, in our breaking story today, New Jersey Governor Mikie Sherrill has just announced a strategy to target ICE and hold them accountable. Now, wait till you see what she has just announced. It's happening as citizens across the country, from Hollywood all the way to Manhattan, are also targeting Target for their compliance in Trump's cruel ICE-capade.
Keep on walking, keep on talking, walking on freedom land.
We also are calling on Target to, retain and to restore its commitment to racial justice. Its DEI initiatives that it had in the wake of 2000 that it got rid of last year.
They are seeing firsthand what's going down, and at best, Target is remaining silent. At worst, they're complicit.
I've always loved Target. We always admired the fact that they were such great corporate citizens. They sponsored things like the Pride Parade every spring. They're great community donors to all these different causes. And then they took $1 million from Trump and they quit their diversity, their DEI program. I boycotted them for a year because of that. It's unbelievable what's happening to our country overall. Yeah. So this is one way to fight it.
Well,
one corporation at a time.
Yeah, they don't get another dime from me. Hey, in today's breaking story, the heart of the resistance is beating most loudly in New Jersey. Governor Mikie Sherrill quickly emerging as one of the most effective voices at the state level in the entire country. Now, in our breaking story today, she reveals her three-pronged executive order that is designed to protect and empower the citizens of New Jersey. You could tell right from the get-go she meant business from her first public interview, just happened a few weeks back. Show you that on the other side of this, today's breaking story.
As governor of New Jersey, I wonder, what will be your approach to not only that policy, but to these ICE arrests that are happening across the country, seemingly only to Democratic-led states?
This should come as no surprise to anyone, Mika. We have seen for months this proto-militia that Trump is developing, acting unlawfully on our streets. You just showed a picture of a typical ICE agent, mask, no insignia, Carhartt sweatshirt on, not a uniform. It is now fully a militia that Trump is running. And so here in New Jersey, we have the best trained police force in the nation. We are going to make sure we are acting in the public's interest to keep people safe. I will continue to fight these things in court. We are already acting in that space, and we are going to make sure that here in New Jersey, we're fighting tooth and nail for public safety.
Okay, in our breaking story today, the first female military veteran to be elected governor of any state in the United States follows up on that promise by signing an executive order that essentially kicks ICE in the ass.
Well, we've got new details tonight following a shooting involving ICE agents yesterday in Roxbury Township. Federal authorities say an ICE officer fired at the tires of a suspect's vehicle during an attempted arrest of a Honduran national. Meanwhile, Governor Sherrill has signed a series of executive actions aimed at increasing transparency around federal immigration operations. New Jersey reporter Tony Yates is live in Roxbury with more on the shooting and the new executive orders. Tony?
Yeah, well, Sade, you know, Morris County has been ground zero recently for several ICE activities, and people who are against all of this are standing up and speaking up every chance they get, and now Governor Sherrill has launched more help.
I have seen what unaccountable militias look like, and the fear and the danger that they spread.
Pushback is growing in Morris County after the latest ICE arrest in Roxbury here on Landing Road. In a press release, DHS confirms taking into custody Jesus Fabian Lopez, calling him, quote, a criminal alien from Honduras and accusing him of drug and DUI charges, and that a judge in 2021 ordered him removed from the U.S. That encounter, along with proposed plans to convert a vacant warehouse into an ICE detention facility, drawing much criticism from locals at a meeting last night.
This facility would compromise the well-being of every single member of the community.
We do not need weak leadership that will simply roll over and allow the federal government to further trample the Constitution.
People are having their rights stripped away and people are dying, and the federal government doesn't care.
Now pushback coming from the Sherrill administration, the governor announcing a three-pronged executive order to curb ICE activities and to help people know their rights in ICE-involved incidents.
First, I'm signing an executive order to ban ICE from launching actions from any state property. That means no ICE staging areas, no processing locations, no operating bases, no federal civil immigration actions run from any state grounds, not our parks, not our roadways, not our buildings.
The state has also launched an online portal asking New Jerseyans to record and upload any ICE encounters they see to the site. And third, a Know Your Rights website with information in 22 languages is available at nj.gov/knowyourrights.
But when law enforcement officers, including federal agents, violate our laws, they violate the trust the community places in law enforcement as a whole.
The governor is reminding anyone who sees an ICE encounter and decides to stop to record it to keep their distance, stay a safe distance away, and not to interfere for their own safety. But she says these videos could be very critical in holding ICE agents accountable. For now, we're live here in Roxbury, Roxbury Township. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
So apparently it seems there's another big rock star kicking it in New Jersey. So it, I guess, would only be appropriate then to quote the boss. Because nothing matters in this whole wide world when you're in love with a Jersey girl. Thank you, Governor Sherrill. And please like, share, and especially take care.
In this video, I'm putting the new Premiere 2026 masking system to the test. We're gonna push it, give it difficult tasks, and see if it's actually worth ditching After Effects RotoBrush. I'll show you where it shines, but also where it still fails. Chapter 1. How the new masking system works. It's actually very simple. The masking tools are no longer available in the effect controls underneath the opacity property or other effects. Instead, the mask tools are now in the toolbar. This right here is the object mask tool. More about that soon. Now, to access the other tools, you just gotta click and hold until you see this menu. And right here, you'll find the ellipse, rectangular, and pen mask. Let's pick the pen mask for now. Let's say I want to create a mask right here. Then you have to select your clip, and then in the program monitor, you can create a mask like this. Drawing a mask still works exactly the same as in the old Premiere. And of course, you can adjust the feather of the mask by pulling this lever on top. As you can see, the mask itself looks different from the classic masks. It also feels a lot smoother. You will clearly notice that the entire masking system has been rewritten in Premiere. This is a good thing. Now do this to the entire program, please. Now you can also see this colored overlay. This can be changed or turned off in the menu right here if you want. Now, where do you find this mask pack? Right here in the effect controls, under unassigned masks. The mask is on your clip, but it isn't doing anything yet. If you want to remove everything outside the mask, click and drag the mask to the opacity effect. By the way, you can also select the opacity effect before masking, and then the mask will be applied to opacity directly. Same thing for effects. You can simply drag a mask to an effect, or you can select the effect before applying a mask. Super simple. And now we're gonna focus on the new Object Mask tool and see how it actually performs. Chapter 2. Masking a person. If I wanted to put some text behind me, in the old Premiere, I would need After Effects, because it wouldn't really look that great. Let's see if that's still necessary with the mask tool. So right here I have two layers, my video and a text layer. Now to put the text behind me, I need to first duplicate my clip and rotoscope myself out. So select the top one, then click the Object Mask tool and go to the Program Monitor. In here, simply click yourself. That should make a solid selection, and if it doesn't, you can always make another selection and that will merge with your current selection. If you accidentally selected too much, select the minus mask right here, or just hold down Alt while drawing a mask, and there you go. Now you don't need to do this for every frame. That's what the Object Mask tool is for. So simply go to the Effect controls, and under Unassigned Masks, you'll find the mask we just created. Then click the Track Forward and Backward button. That will track your selection for the entire clip. You can see the keyframes right here. There you go. Next, click and drag the mask to the opacity effect, and boom. Now clearly for tasks like this, you don't need After Effects anymore. Next we're gonna test this tool with some more difficult shots. But first I want to show you something else that makes Premiere 10 times better. And that's access to stock footage made by real artists. No AI generated clips and all of that straight in Premiere. That's possible with the Storyblocks plugin. This literally helps me tell my stories. I mean, look at this. You can just type in a keyword and look at these beautiful shots, all made by real humans. Again, they're not AI generated like on most stock libraries nowadays. Nothing against AI generation, by the way, but when you pay for stock footage, it needs to be real, agree? You'll get unlimited downloads of diverse and high quality media for one predictable subscription cost. Storyblocks has everything you need in one place. 4K HD video, templates, music, sound effects, backgrounds, and images. It gives me unlimited content that I can use to create videos like this one. All the footage in this video is from Storyblocks. You can choose between a monthly or annual plan, no hidden costs. Anything you download is completely royalty-free, no legal issues or copyright claims. Storyblocks, thank you so much for sponsoring this video and for supporting the channel. To get started with unlimited stock media downloads at one set price, head over to storyblocks.com/premierebasics. Or just click the link down below. Now it's time for Chapter 3, Mask Tracking a Face. Let's see if it's better than the old Premiere. So I'd like to add a bit more color to my talent here. To do that, first go to Lumetri and add some warmth to the video. And that of course adds warmth everywhere, and we only want it on our face. To do that, go to the Effect controls, and in here, make sure Lumetri color is selected. Then go to the timeline and select the Object Mask tool. Now head over to the Program Monitor, and we're gonna use the Rectangular Selection tool. Draw a box around the person's face, and that will instantly create a perfect selection. Now, in the Effect controls, we're gonna track the mask forward and backward. Wait until it's done. And since we had the Lumetri color selected, you can create a mask like this. Drawing a mask still works exactly the same as in the old Premiere. And of course, you can adjust the feather of the mask by pulling this lever on top. As you can see, the mask itself looks different from the classic masks. It also feels a lot smoother. You will clearly notice that the entire masking system has been rewritten in Premiere. This is a good thing. Now do this to the entire program, please. Now you can also see this colored overlay. This can be changed or turned off in the menu right here if you want. Now, where do you find find this mask back, right here in the effect controls, under unassigned masks. The mask is on your clip, but it isn't doing anything yet. If you want to remove everything outside the mask, click and drag the mask to the opacity.
I'm on
By
a
the way,
very
you can
dark
also
road, can you
select
show
the
me the
opacity
light?
effect
I'm the man,
before
I should be.
masking, and then the mask will be applied to opacity directly. Same thing for effects. You can simply drag a mask to an effect, or you can select the effect before applying a mask. Super simple. And now we're gonna focus on the new Object Mask tool and see how it actually performs. Chapter 2. Masking a person. If I wanted to put some text behind me, in the old Premiere I would need After Effects, because it wouldn't really look that great. Let's see if that's still necessary with the mask tool. So right here I have two layers, my video and a text layer. Now to put the text behind me, I need to first duplicate my clip and rotoscope myself out. So select the top one, then click the Object Mask tool and go to the Program Monitor. In here, simply click yourself. That should make a solid selection, and if it doesn't, you can always make another selection and that will merge with your current selection. If you accidentally selected too much, select the minus mask right here, or just hold down Alt while drawing a mask, and there you go. Now you don't need to do this for every frame. That's what the Object Mask tool is for. So simply go to the Effect controls and under Unassigned Masks, you'll find the mask we just created. Then click the Track Forward and Backward button. That will track your selection for the entire clip. You can see the keyframes right here. There you go. Next, click and drag the mask to the opacity effect and boom. Now clearly for tasks like this, you don't need After Effects anymore. Next, we're gonna test this tool with some more difficult shots. But first, I want to show you something else that makes Premiere 10 times better. And that's access to stock footage made by real artist, no AI generated clips, and all of that straight in Premiere. And that's possible with the Storyblocks plugin. This literally helps me tell my stories. I mean, look at this. You can just type in a keyword and look at these beautiful shots, all made by real humans. Again, they're not AI generated like on most stock libraries nowadays. Nothing against AI generation, by the way, but when you pay for stock footage, it needs to be real, agree? You'll get unlimited downloads of diverse and high-quality media for one predictable subscription cost. Storyblocks has everything you need in one place. 4K HD video, templates, music, sound effects, backgrounds, and images. It gives me unlimited content that I can use to create videos like this one. All the footage in this video is from Storyblocks. You can choose between a monthly or annual plan, no hidden costs. Anything you download is completely royalty-free, no legal issues or copyright claims. Storyblocks, thank you so much for sponsoring this video and for supporting the channel. To get started with unlimited stock media downloads at one set price, head over to storyblocks.com/premierebasics. Or just click the link down below. Now it's time for Chapter 3, Mask Tracking a Face. Let's see if it's better than the old Premiere. So I'd like to add a bit more color to my talent here. To do that, first go to Lumetri and add some warmth to the video. And that of course adds warmth everywhere, and we only want it on her face. To do that, go to the effect controls, and in here, make sure Lumetri color is selected. Then go to the timeline and select the object mask tool. Now head over to the program monitor, and we're gonna use the rectangular selection tool. Draw a box around the person's face, and that will instantly create a perfect selection. Now, in the effect controls, we're gonna track the mask forward and backward. Wait until it's done. And since we had the Lumetri color selected, the mask is now automatically applied to that effect. There you go. Of course, you can now go back to Lumetri and adjust the color grade until it looks perfect. And there you go. Honestly, this works so well and so fast that you can even try this on longer videos. I don't think this uses your computer hardware, correct me if I'm wrong, so if this AI is cloud-based, even your potato computer can run this. Chapter 4. Testing how this new mask tool handles occlusion. This is an old video of my wife walking behind a tree. Now, what if we use the object selection tool? I mean, obviously she's not an object, and see if the tool detects the tree and knows that she's walking behind it. Right here, I have one clip that's black and white. Let me enable Lumetri color real quick. Okay, and then back in the timeline, let's duplicate this clip for a second. Now go back to the effect controls and let me remove the Lumetri color on this one. Now the colors are back. You'll see why in a second. Now select the opacity effect and then go back in the timeline. Grab the object mask tool and then in the program monitor, click the object or the wife. Alright, now in the effect controls, click the forward backward button and let's wait for it. Oh my, that actually worked really well. Good job, Adobe. It did make a very small mistake, but hey, you won't even notice it when playing it back, and if you really want to, you can always correct it. Chapter 5. Masking objects. Up until now, we've only tried masking humans. And my wife. Now let's try masking objects. This drifting car, for example. This one's difficult because the car's white and there's white dust behind it. Now, quick tip, as you can see in the beginning, the entire car isn't visible. So what I think will get you a better result is moving to a point in your clip where the car is fully in frame, like here, for example. And now click the mask tool and in the program monitor select the car. If it doesn't select it entirely by itself, just do it manually like this. There you go. Now let's click the tracking forward-backward button and let Premiere do its thing. Alright, now when I look at the result, I see a lot of flickering, and yeah, I guess that's normal because the dust doesn't make it easy to track the car. But for things like color grading, this might still be usable. Let's try increasing the exposure or something. Okay, now the problem is that this adjustment now reveals an edge from the exposure property, but you can easily fix that by playing around with the feather a bit, and now back in Lumetri you can further tweak your lighting until it looks great. And if you feather it enough, not too much, the mask is pretty usable. Chapter 6. Faster motion and bad contrast masking. This is a clip of a tennis ball moving pretty fast and has bad contrast with the background. So I wonder how Premiere will handle this. Let's grab the mask tool and create a selection around the ball. Oh, and it recognizes it instantly. Okay, now let's track it and wow, that looks perfect. I gotta say, well done, Adobe. Now, I also want to try masking out this guy. I'm not sure if Premiere can do this since he goes out of frame for a long time. Let's give it a shot. Alright, the selection works. Now let's track it. And yes, just like I thought, Premiere lost it when he went out of the frame. But this doesn't have to be an issue. You can just go back to the timeline, add a cut where the guy went out of frame, then move the playhead to somewhere at the end or something. Then make sure the second clip is selected and then track him again. Now it works and the result is perfect. Conclusion. For about 80% of everyday edits, the new masking system can kind of replace After Effects. But of course, for heavy compositing, you still need the Rotobrush tool. Now, that said, this is a huge step forward. Adobe deserves some credit for this one. But if you want to learn more about that and the new update from Premiere, right here, video on my left. Thank you guys so much for watching. Skibbity ba! Boop, ba, 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 ba.
Here are over 20 Premiere tips and tricks, rapid fire style. We'll focus on Premiere Pro's new features and effects mixed in with some timeless tips that you probably have never heard of before. Let's jump on in. I've separated these tips into these categories down here to make this video easier to navigate and come back to. My first tip starts even before you open the software. As you open Premiere Pro, press and hold the Alt key on a PC or Option on a Mac, and then the small window will open up. This is a good place to clear your media cache alongside some other useful options. If you've been using Premiere Pro without clearing your cache, doing this will clear up a significant amount of disk space. Open the software. As you open Premiere Pro, press and hold the Alt key on a PC or Option on a Mac, and then the small window will open up. This is a good place to clear your media cache alongside some other useful options. If you've been using Premiere Pro without clearing your cache, doing this will clear up a significant amount of disk space, plus it'll help Premiere Pro run a bit smoother. Just be sure not to reset your preferences. Now that we're inside of Premiere Pro, if you need to zoom into your time, a good place to clear your media cache alongside some other useful options. If you've been using Premiere Pro without clearing your cache, doing this will clear up a significant amount of disk space, plus it'll help Premiere Pro run a bit smoother. Just be sure not to reset your preferences. Now that we're inside of Premiere Pro, if you need to zoom into your timeline to do some quick adjustments, you can press the backslash on the keyboard to instantly return to your previous zoom level. In a recent Premiere update, Adobe added over 90 effects and transitions, but instead of grabbing them from the effects panel like usual, here's a tip. Go up to Windows and enable the Film Impact dashboard to see all these new effects and a preview of them before applying them to your timeline. If you have a graphic element with a white or black background, you can add the alpha effect to it to immediately remove the background. This even works on those fake PNGs with those checkered alpha backgrounds as well. If the result isn't good right off the bat, go to Effect Controls and change this option to Not Fully Automated and manually adjust these settings to get a good result. It's important to note that this effect will not work well when the object in the foreground is white and the background is mainly white. So case by case. Normally, if I want to make a crop with rounded corners, I would have to create a mask underneath opacity here and then expand it. But the main problem with this method though is that when you add effects like drop shadow to it, it won't appear on the border unless you nest it first. So there's a new way. You can use the rounded crop effect, and it does exactly what you expect and more. We can keyframe the offset parameter to create this little animation, and there's also an option to invert the crop and an option to automatically zoom in on the footage as you crop to make sure it fits the whole frame. Making custom camera shakes have never been easier. Just use the camera shake effect or the wiggle effect, and in Effect Controls, we have all these settings to customize the shakes to our liking. I also love that there's this master parameter, so we can keyframe the overall shake amount. It's important to note that the camera shake effect works best on full screen footage, since it will automatically scale up the footage for us to avoid black edges. The wiggle effect, however, is best used on graphic elements. And some good news, after all these years, we now have new blur effects inside of Premiere. You can add the focus blur effect to any clip and get instant blur and masking combos. You can fully customize the blur area and top it off with some chromatic aberration. We can also change the focus type to tilt shift to create that miniature world effect. Bokeh Blur Effect has all the settings you need to create a really awesome bokeh blur. And if you use Premiere's object mask to cut out our subject, we can apply bokeh effect to the background to get that shallow depth of field look. An extra tip that I learned from a comment on my object masking video is if I want to select only a part of the subject, I can just draw around the area with the object mask tool. And then I can hold Alt or Option on a Mac to draw around the areas I want left out. Thanks for commenting that. And we have a new mosaic effect. But how is it more useful than the one that we've had for ages? Well, the new one has a lot more controls, as you can see here. And if we use this handy Surprise Me button, which will randomize the parameters, we'll get a bunch of cool results that could never be done with the original one. And as a side note, if you haven't noticed already, all of the new effects in Premiere Pro come with this Surprise Me button, which is really handy if you're just looking for some quick inspiration. The compound blur effect will let you use the luminance of another video as a mask for the blur. For example, I had this smoke video under my footage. Let's add the compound blur to the footage and pick the video layer with the smoke clip as the blur layer. And check this out. We can create some pretty interesting results depending on what we add to the blur layer. But did you know that Premiere always had the ability to mask an effect with another video layer? I have my logo on top of this footage in the timeline. Let's add an adjustment layer in between these two layers. Here I can add any effects I want, like Lumetri color, and let's end with the track matte key effect. Here's where I can choose video layer 3, and my color adjustments will only affect the area of my logo. You can change matte alpha to matte luma if you want to use the bright areas of the footage as a mask instead of the transparency. And actually, instead of using the footage, we can delete this and use these tools to draw our own shape to use as the mask. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the track matte key effect. And here are some must-know tips from our sponsor, Artlist. If all the effects in Premiere Pro are not enough for you, Artlist has us covered with even more effects like super glow, heat distortions, fire effects, cartoon effects, and many more powerful effects. We can simply drag and drop it on our footage and done. Or maybe you have enough effects, and in that case, Artlist has top quality assets for you, from story-driven stock footage to graphic templates to LUTs, even sound effects and music, which now has this search by song feature. It has pretty much everything you need as a video editor. The next tip is to visualize your ideas or generate assets fast with Artlist's image and video generation tools. And this lets us use the best AI in the business, from VO 3.1, Sora 2 Pro, and more, all in one place. We can create videos from text or images, and the results also come with sound.
It's meow time!
Or you can generate your own voiceover in over 21 different languages using one of their mini speaker voice options. Or you can also clone your voice as well. It's Gal's Voice Clone. how you doing? This is seriously one of the best voice clones I've heard of my voice. And Artlist knows that everybody has a different workflow, and that's why they created multiple plans for you to choose from. All the plans come with unlimited downloads, so grab as much as you want. If you use my link below to sign up, you get 2 extra months free when you sign up for an annual plan. Thanks so much to Artlist for sponsoring, and now let's show you even more tips in Premiere. Here are some cool effects that you can create with just a few clicks, like God rays. Drop the volumetric rays effect to your footage. We can bump up the intensity to brighten up the rays. Then we can change the highlights only parameter to get rid of or bring in more bright spots from the footage into this effect. With the volumetric rays effect selected in Effect Controls, in the program window, we can move this little blue circle to change the light's direction. If you want God rays to come only out of a specific area of the footage, I recommend duplicating the footage and removing the effect from the bottom layer. On the top video layer, we can add a crop effect before volumetric rays and crop out any part that you don't want. Then we can lower the source opacity to 0, and now our top layer only has the God ray visible. Then we can change the blending mode of this layer to add or screen, whichever one fits your footage better, and there we go. The glint effect will instantly add glint to the bright spots of your footage, and you can adjust the looks of it as you please, from shape to color. We can bump up the shimmer area and speed for some continuous animation. The next tip is how to quickly create a background pattern. Here I have a solid color layer and my logo on top. First, make sure that the logo layer is big enough to cover the whole frame. Then we can add the clone effect to it. At first, we don't see much change, and that's because our logo is too big. But no worries, from clone effects, we can apply prescale and then scale down our logo before it gets cloned. Now we can click the Surprise Me button a few times to find a pattern that we like. We can also come down to adding more clones manually and even turn this into an animating background automatically just by changing the animation mode to continuous. And after adding some glow and some noise, this is what we get. That was a lot of tips to take in. Let's take a moment to relax. If anyone else has a tip you would like to share, drop a comment down below. Talking about animation without keyframes, here are a few ways that you can do it. If you're doing an educational video, for example, and you want to cut to a paper background to do some more explaining, try using the page peel transition to transition into that new segment. You can drag the transition in the timeline in or out to make the animation slower or faster. And don't forget to use that Surprise Me button to try out new possibilities. Are you working on a scene where you're adding footage to an old TV? Use the TV power transition to help sell the effect, or maybe the VHS damage impact. And of course, these effects are fully customizable like all the new effects inside of Premiere. Are you tired of having static text inside of your project? You can try adding the text animator effect and see what you get. And like most of these new effects, we can adjust the animation curves to really dial in on the speed of the animation. But if you run into a problem where this effect isn't animating each letter separately, that's usually because the letters are too close to each other, or maybe because you added a stroke or a drop shadow. The only workaround for now is to increase the tracking to separate each letter a little bit more. And now the letters aren't stuck together anymore. If instead of static text, you have a static logo or a graphic, try using the shape flow transition. Here's a quick tip to quickly try out different animations. Select the logo and press the / to set in and out points, and press this button here in the program window to enable loop playback. If you don't see this button, drag it in from the plus menu here. Now we can hit play and let the playback loop. And each time it loops, we can press the Surprise Me button to test out a bunch of different animation styles. As for my last tip, I recommend that you check out all the effects in the Motion Effects tab and the Animation tab, because all these are made to create instant animation with motion blur. This tab is focused on in and out animations to be applied to the start or the end of your clip. As for motion effects, these are more for continuous animations. They all look kind of simple on their own, but the true power comes when you combine them. For example, on my text with the text animator effect already applied, I could also add the grow effect or the shrink effect on top to instantly get the text to scale up or down without having to do any keyframing. And for anyone who watches to the end, thank you. Here's an extra tip for you. So once you're done with a project, we can go up to edit and click on remove unused. And this will remove any assets that aren't used in our final timeline. So that way our project panel is nice and tidy, especially if you need to send this project file off to somebody else. It saves you space. If any of these tips helped you out today, be sure to give that like button a gentle tap. And if these tips were not enough, be sure to check out this other video over here where you can learn more effects inside of Premiere. That's all for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, keep creating better video with Gal. Oh, I can't reach the lens. Premiere's new masking tool is game-changing. I can get rid of my background just like that. And this is just the start, because we're going to go through how easy it is to achieve these popular effects and transitions using these new masking tools. Let's jump on in. Currently, the new object masking tools are only available in the Premiere Beta app, so be sure to install that from the Adobe Creative Cloud app. If you're watching this in the future, it could be in the main app and you'll see it there. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the basics. Here in the toolbar is where we'll find the new masking tools, mainly the Object Mask tool. With this tool selected, in the preview window, whoa, what is that accent? In the preview window, we'll see that it automatically detects the subject in our scene. So we can just select that, or if we want to select another part of the footage, we can just draw around that area to select it. To remove something from the selection, just hold Alt or Option if you're on a Mac, and draw around parts we want removed. It's kind of like using a simplified version of the RotoBrush tool inside of After Effects. And once we're happy with our selection, go to Effect Controls, and our mask will appear under Unassigned Masks. Here we can select the button to track the mask forward and backwards. And after a couple seconds, we're done. But since this mask is unassigned, it has no real effect on the footage. So what we need to do is drag it down to the opacity tab, and all the parts outside the mask will be removed. We also have the usual options here under our mask, such as feather, expansion, and of course the option to invert the mask. So these are the basics, and having these new object masking tools opens up so many possibilities as editors. For example, instead of using it to make a cutout, we can add lumetri color to the footage and drag our object mask down to the effect. Now, any color adjustments that are made will only affect our subject. So I can quickly do things like change the color of the card by moving this hue versus hue line right here. Or maybe I can invert the mask and make everything except the subject black and white. That's another option. We can also easily create an outline around our subject by moving the object mask back up to opacity to create a cutout. And then we'll duplicate the footage to a layer above. Now on the layer below, let's remove the object mask so only the top layer is the cutout. On the top layer, I'll add a tint effect to quickly turn the car into a solid black color. Then let's right-click the top layer, New, Nest. And this nest is where we will apply the stroke effect, which is also a new effect inside of Premiere. Now, all we have to do is change the blending mode of this layer to screen to get rid of the black areas. The reason why we do this is to isolate only our stroke layer. This will make it easier for us to stylize the outline. For example, I can change the stroke color here, add some glow to make it pop, and maybe even animate another mask on top to use it as an outline reveal. Another really good use of the Object Mask tool is to add overlays on our subject. So let's start fresh here. Start by duplicating the footage to the layer above, and then we'll right click and nest the top layer. With the nested layer selected, we'll pick the Object Mask tool to create a mask on our subject again. Then we'll drag the mask down to opacity to create a cutout. Now we can double click to open up our nest in another timeline. And here we can drop in any type of overlay footage. I got this glitchy one from Artlist, so let's scale it down a bit to only cover the area of the car. Back in the main comp, you'll see that the overlay only appears where the car is, due to our mask. I'm going to change the blending mode to screen and add Lumetri color to adjust the curves a bit, so that way we can actually see the car underneath our overlay. Next up is the wipe transition, and you might be like, Gal, but it's pretty basic. And I'm like, yeah, it is simple, but it's one of the coolest and most useful transitions in the book for editors. Basically, we're using an object that passes by the camera while covering up the frame vertically or horizontally as an open door into another shot. For example, I can use this tree that passes by the camera here. To achieve this transition, we would normally have to manually animate the mask to follow the edge in order to achieve it. What we're gonna do here is come down to the toolbar, press and hold on the Object Mask tool, and here is where we will find the ellipse and rectangular mask tool. Let's create a rectangle mask and move the corners to align with the edge of the tree. Then in the Effect Controls panel here, we can keyframe the position of the mask, making it follow the tree. Once done with that, let's move the mask down to opacity to create a cutout and bump up feather just a bit to match the edge blur of the tree. Now we can place the second shot underneath this layer to complete the transition. Note that this transition works best when the two clips that you're using have movement that's going in the same direction, so that way it feels more seamless. Now with the Object Mask tool, we can use it to mask the object in the foreground for us to achieve the same wipe transition. It is, however, good to know how to do this manually, because sometimes the Object Mask tool doesn't work well when the objects you're trying to select are slightly blurred. For me in this scene, when I tried to use the Object Mask tool to select the tree in the foreground, it struggled. But if I select the trees that are closer to the subject for the transition, the Object Mask tool has a much easier time since the trees are more in focus and therefore the edges are easier to follow. So now let's create a transition that's actually seamless, so it actually looks like the camera just panned from one clip to the other. So I have these 3 separate clips. How do I make it look like it was one take? What I can do is go to the last frame of the first clip. Click this camera button to save this frame as an image. Then let's go to the first frame of the second clip and also grab a little snapshot of that. And with the help of AI, we can generate what's in between these 2 clips and then bring it back into Premiere. In my case, I'm going to be using Artlist, who is the sponsor of this video, and I'm going to be using one of their newer AI models called Kling01. This model will let me import my first and last frame. And after a short prompt, we will get a generated video starting and ending with the 2 images that we imported. After a few tries, I got these results. I like this one the most. The number at the top did get a little bit weird, but no worries, we can fix that back in Premiere. So here I've added the new generated video between my 2 clips. To fix that number, I'm going to duplicate the generated video, and on the top layer, go to the first frame and then let's freeze it. Then I'll create a simple mask around the number and keyframe the position of the layer to follow the movements of the bottom layer. Then let's nest these 2 layers together and use time remapping to speed up the transition. And if we add a little bit of directional blur on top, you won't even notice that we did any editing. And honestly, this is the best way to use AI, which is combining generated elements with our own editing skills to achieve the shot that fits our story. So then I'm going to do the same transition between shot 2 and 3, and this is what we got. So this is what I was able to do with just one of Artlist's new AI models. Another one is Kling 2.6 Pro, which is great at generating realistic and cinematic videos with audio.
I think I figured out what's wrong with you.
And if we jump over here to the AI image tab, they just added Dream 4.5, which is great at keeping consistency in photos. So you could do stuff like uploading an image and generating a whole nother angle. Or you can use the hot and powerful Nano Banana Pro to generate realistic photos and make edits to existing ones. And we can use it to create cool match cuts like this. These are just a few of the many AI models available on Artlist. There's no need to go to multiple websites. It's kind of like a hub hosting all the latest and greatest when it comes to generative AI. And on top of all of this, Artlist has a huge growing library of creative assets made by humans. I mean, take a look at some of the stock videos or even animating templates. These are some top quality stuff. To me, Artlist is the best of both worlds. You get access to the best assets and the best AI models. If any of this sounds good to you, check out Artlist's big holiday sale with my affiliate link below. This is a limited time only, plus you'll get 2 extra months free on me. Thanks so much to Artlist for sponsoring this video. And now let's show you another transition, the portal transition. The portal transition has been used by some of the biggest channels, and it's not hard to see why. I mean, the seamless transition is just so satisfying to watch. So basically, we're just cutting out part of the video and using that hole as a portal to another video. So in the timeline here, I have close-up footage of an eye. And what I'm going to do is pick the object mask tool and then draw around the iris. Once I'm happy with the selection, we can track forward. Then let's drag it down to opacity to create a cutout. I'm going to duplicate this layer, and on the bottom one, let's invert the mask. Let's also add a bit of feathering on both layers to smoothen out the edges. Doing this right now might introduce some black areas around the mask, but we can quickly fix this by expanding the mask on the top layer just a little bit to cover up those black areas. And there we go. Now currently we have 2 layers. The top one only has the iris while the bottom one has the whole cutout. Let's move these 2 layers up and add the second shot underneath. I picked this footage of a boat going in circles to match the circular shape of the eye. So now we can animate these layers separately by using some of the new effects in Premiere. On the bottom eye layer, I'm going to add a simple zoom blur just to the end here, and then also at the start of the second clip. So if I hide the top layer for now, we get this simple animation zooming into the hole in the eye, revealing the second shot inside. So let's re-enable the top layer again, and I'll add in the motion camera transition to the end of the layer. Now this is a really powerful transition that lets you create complicated animation without any keyframes. But instead of going in depth with all of these settings right now, I'll just use the Surprise Me button to try out a couple results until I find the one that I like. And here we go. I also did the same transition using other footage, this time cutting out the whole subject. I used the flip motion transition and moved the center to the bottom of the frame so our subject can flip down while I use the travel motion transition to pull the background up, revealing the second shot underneath. Being able to quickly cut out subjects or objects in your video inside of Premiere is probably one of the most useful updates that have come to Premiere in a while. And of course, remember, if you need to do more complex masking, you can always use After Effects Rotobrush tool. That's why it exists, for more complicated VFX shots. So I hope you found this video inspirational for some new ideas in your video edits. And if it helped you out, be sure to gently tap, not smash that like button, because hey, let's be gentle and just tap that little like button there. And also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I don't usually like asking for subscription to the channel, but it does help growing the community, and I appreciate your support greatly. To learn even more cool transitions, watch this video right over here. And as always, keep creating better video with Gal. See you next time. Bye. Woo. Fade to black.
Donald Trump is feeling the sting of betrayal today as conservative media turns on him, and I have all the satisfying receipts coming up next. I'm Dan, and thank you for watching Occupy Democrats. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to get all of our daily reports documenting the Donald self-destruction and decline. After Pam Bondi's bizarre performance in front of the House, MAGA media is hitting the panic button and calling for Trump to take massive action. Let's begin with broadcaster Eric Erickson, self-described conservative truth teller. Truth over tribe, he says, and today he lives up to that with this intellectually honest takedown. When the Attorney General of the United States is asked why she has prosecuted no one related to Jeffrey Epstein, and this is her answer, she should be fired or resign. But neither will happen, which is another reason the Democrats are going to have a good election year. That was a Republican predicting the party will crater on Trump's watch because stooges like Bondi are destroying voter confidence. But wait, there's much more. Pro-Trump podcaster Tim Pool just told his MAGA-loving audience something they definitely did not want to hear.
I ain't cutting Trump any slack. Now that we know that they've covered up the co-conspirator documents, there's a document saying that they were investigating co-conspirators Epstein. There's photos and videos of minors and children. Dan Bongino was like, look, a lot of these things were hearsay and, fake tips that were uncorroborated. All of that is true, but there's still no excuse for them not exposing these deep, dark, corrupt pedos. Like, I can understand. Yep. I can understand Bill Gates didn't do anything criminal. If it is true that he got an STD from Russian hookers and gave it to his wife on accident, that's not illegal. He got divorced. I can understand why it's embarrassing. And I can respect someone saying, please don't release that email. It's not material to anybody. It's just internal drama that's gross and embarrassing.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff in there, like that's already being brought up, that I would say is shocking to the conscience that Trump called it a hoax.
And speaking of shock, watch as a Newsmax host, that network that competes with Fox to be Trump's favorite propaganda channel, deviates from the script and blurts out words like incompetence and cover-up.
This portion, right now, we can't go backwards. All the other people, Bill Barr, who, by the way, his name does appear in some of these files, Merrick Garland, Bush, Obama, all of them, they all failed. They all failed, which is why we reelected Donald Trump in part, to fix this problem. And now it's on your plate, Pam Bondi. You took that in by taking this job. It was Donald Trump that made sure Epstein and Maxwell were locked up in his first term, and then Bill Barr sat on all the stuff that's being hid now that's coming out. No doubt. Pam Bondi, you drew the short straw to try to uncover something hidden, like Massey said, for decades. Probably the biggest scandal since Watergate. But that's the job.
An example, I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted.
You see why people like me are still thinking that this is a cover-up? A 302 form is an FBI interview with a suspect or a witness or something. Why are hundreds of them fully redacted? This is either a cover-up or it's incompetence. And I want somebody to go to jail for it. At a minimum, anybody involved with screwing this up should no longer work at the DOJ.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people.
Yeah, as much as I hate Democrats, it was a good question. And the answer is 0. This should not be a partisan issue. In America, we throw pedophiles in jail or wood chippers, period. Did we get any more answers? No, we got this stupid 1-800 number. Today's hearing made this a bigger story because parts of this are still being covered up, and America is not stupid. She should have just shown up with like a list of people like, hey, here's who we're charging today. I'm hard on her because America needs Donald Trump to succeed. He does. If Donald Trump doesn't succeed, if Pam Bondi doesn't succeed, Donald Trump can't succeed. And then this country can't succeed. And this country will be finished if Democrats get their hands back on this place. The bottom line is that no one knew was in jail. The DOJ has 6 million pages of investigations and hundreds of victims and no arrests.
I mentioned at the top that this would be a satisfying report, but we can't forget that this story also represents the level of blind loyalty from Bondi and the other sycophants that surround Trump. As his decline in extremism increased, they will tighten the circle and continue to obey his every impulsive order without hesitation.
It's a guy coming down the street.
Can I help you with something?
Huh?
Can I help you with something?
Yeah, what's your Wi-Fi password?
We don't have Wi-Fi here.
You don't have Wi-Fi?
No, we don't. I was just wondering why you're recording.
Just shooting a video. Why are you so close?
I'm just wondering what's going on.
But why
That's
are
all.
you so close, bro? Look.
Something I can help you with?
You can tie my shoe.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
I thought you said you're trying to help me.
Yeah, if you need some help with your banking business.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Would you say, if I can ask you a question,
Okay.
would you say this bank is a good bank to like save money?
So that's a great place if you're wanting to open up a checking account.
A savings account. A savings
account. Yeah, it's a great place.
So what interest do my money gain me? What's the interest rate?
There's several different. It depends on the account. There's several different accounts.
If you can just give me one, off the top of your head.
The most common one, it's
the interest rate.
There's one that pays, I think, is 0.75. I cannot remember the other ones off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah. I was wondering just what you're doing out
I was
here.
just shooting a video.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, is that okay?
How about you keep on moving, okay?
Say that one more time.
How about you keep on moving?
Why would you say that?
Well, it's just people were getting a little bit uncomfortable with them filming the outside and just making people a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I'm outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong? I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. You whispering?
Inside the branch?
Uh-huh. What's wrong with that?
Why are you recording inside of the branch?
I can't really say.
That's the problem. There's no reason.
I was just sent out here to record.
For what purpose?
For what purpose?
For my partners in them.
I'm sorry?
For my partners, they sent me out here to do a video.
So how about you just, if you need something, if you want to open up an account or if you need to handle your banking business, come on in and see us. But for the
Where
time
did you
being,
come from?
I'm over there in the main branch.
You do home loans?
I don't know.
Dang, where did you come from?
Over there in the main branch.
Out the alley?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So if you need something, come see us. But in the meantime, I'll just ask you.
What's your name?
If you, in the meantime, I'll just ask you to keep on moving, okay?
But what's your name so I know to ask for you?
So I'm over there in the main branch.
And what's your name?
If you need something, just keep on moving, okay?
But what is your name?
Tyson Reimer.
Tyson, okay.
Okay?
I'm Bartholomew, man.
In the meantime, let's just keep moving, okay?
You say do what?
In the meantime, just keep moving.
Moving where?
Well, I just don't want you outside recording.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go like in or like on their property. I'm not doing that.
I'm not asking, I'm just telling you, let's just keep on moving, okay? I don't want you recording outside the branch.
But I gotta finish the video for my partners in them now.
Then you can tell your partners to come and see if they want to talk to us, but we're just gonna keep on moving.
Ray ain't gonna like this.
Perfect, great. You can have Ray come talk to me.
The police are about to be called.
Okay?
But I'm just trying to let him know real quick that they're not gonna like this because they paid me to come out here.
Okay, you can have Ray come see me.
And Pookie though, he gonna come.
Okay.
I
can barely hear you, man, with the car.
I'm sure they'll understand why it makes people uncomfortable when you film inside of a financial institution.
But
the front door.
But they sent me to come to this location.
Okay, well if they want to come talk to us, they can come talk to us.
No, they didn't say to talk to you. They just told me come and.
What I'm saying is if they have a problem, they can come back.
It's not a problem.
If they have a problem with the fact that we are not doing this.
Yeah, Ray ain't gonna like that though. If I call him and say that you told me that I can't record right here.
Okay, that's fine. I do not care that he has a problem with that. But in the meantime,
I have to get my back end pay. He only paid me so much to come here. When I finish the job,
no, we're just gonna shut the camera off.
So listen, real quick. Let's just make a deal. Let's just make a deal.
There's no deal. I told you how this is gonna go.
Let's just make a deal real quick. Listen to the deal. Instead of being out here what they said, I just stay out here just a couple hours, man. I'm just gonna be right here. Maybe get the drive through.
No. No, because I don't want you recording that stuff because that's interfering with the customer's privacy. We're not going to be doing that.
I'm not going to be on the property. I'm going to just stay on the side.
No, that's not how this is going to go.
Hey, can you mind scooting to the side for me real quick?
This isn't how this
Hold
is
on
gonna
real quick.
Go, okay? So, what we're going to do is if you don't go away now, we'll have the police come.
Oh, now you're making me nervous, man. Why are you doing that?
We'll have them ask you to leave, okay?
But why would you do that?
Can you please grab the police boat?
But why? You ain't got to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you tripping, man. You gonna call the police.
Okay, just have a good day.
But you already called the police now. We gotta wait for them.
Have a good day. If you want to leave, you can leave. You're free to leave. But we're just not gonna sit here and hang out.
Huh?
We're just not gonna sit here and hang out like this. Okay?
Why are you so close? If I'm making people uncomfortable, why did you walk so? You look comfortable to me.
I am comfortable.
Look how close you walked up.
I am comfortable.
Okay, so everything's cool. Yeah, man.
We're not gonna do this. So I'll ask you to either keep moving, or you can wait for the cops to come and they'll have you.
Just wait for the cops. You can just get out of my way. You can get back to work.
No.
Get back to work.
Right here. I'm good.
You can just get back to work. You said the police is on their way.
Yeah. We're just not gonna do this, okay?
Okay.
So. But.
Dang. That's a big guy, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day out, man, huh?
It is.
Yeah, it's been cold, so I just decided to get out and just do a little recording, you know? Yeah. What kind of gel you use?
Whatever's cheapest.
Okay. Because, you know, one thing you realize, the cheap brand is just as good as the expensive brand. It's just the name that you're actually buying.
That's right.
So, you a smart man for that. So, yeah.
Let's just not keep recording inside the lobby, okay?
Well, here, I just get the driveway then, man.
Let's not get the driveway.
Okay, and here we go. Let's see. We want to get the action, y'all.
He's standing on not on private property. He's on.
He's recording inside of our branch. He's not recording
From the
just
outside?
the attempt. Yes.
Yeah, he can be outside and record. There's nothing illegal about it. It's their Fourth Amendment right. That they, as long as they're on public property, he goes into the bank and you tell him not to record, or he has to leave.
It's trespass. Yeah.
If he's out here on public property, there's nothing we can do to stop him. That's his rights to do that.
Okay.
So where does the public property and the private property, where's that line over here?
Sidewalks here.
Sidewalk?
Public.
So if he steps over that crack over there, then that's our property?
If he gets on there, if that's your property, where they, the curb line over here to the driveway,
Yep.
yes, that would be your property. So you have to stay on the outside of that.
Okay.
And I guarantee you, he probably knows.
Yeah, I let you know that I'm not going to go enter on your property. Didn't I tell you that?
I know.
Can you at least give me an apology?
I don't have anything to apologize for.
You don't have anything to apologize for? You got right here in my face.
I wasn't that close. I just had some people.
Okay, man.
I had some people.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
You're going to see the video.
I had some people that just said that they were uncomfortable. That was all the only reason.
And I let you. And my comment was, I said, "Sir, y'all are uncomfortable, but you walked right here to my face. They outside, and they uncomfortable.
Yes. They were.
I wish I had my pacifier. Hey, let me ask you this: what year are we in?
2025.
2025. Where can you go in 2025 where you're not being recorded? You can't say the restroom. Where can you go?
Well, if they're recording in a restroom, we got to do something.
The further you get away from your house, you even more on camera.
He's not wrong. I mean,
that's right. I was just coming over because there were some people that said that they were awfully uncomfortable.
There's nothing wrong with coming up to me. There's nothing even wrong with you calling the police officer. You came out here and I actually let you know what I was doing.
And
until we verify, though. We're just doing our...
You won't be able to verify what I'm doing. And check this out. I don't have to tell you anything. And I actually... And but listen, but this the thing. I don't have to tell him, but I took initiative and told him exactly what I'm doing and who sent me. Didn't I tell you? That's why I'm asking, would you like to give me an apology? Because you stepped right here. I asked you, I said, sir, why would you step this close to me, toe to toe?
Do you see our side of this though too?
I see your side. You exactly. I understand your side, that you're curious. It's a guy outside recording. You approached me. You did that. I let him know what I'm doing. I let him know that I'm not going on his property. And he still said, you know what? You're going to move from here, man. I'm not going to let you do this, and call the police and everything. I'm like, wow. I hope the officer come and he's totally going to understand. It's our First Amendment right. Free press. Free press. You don't like freedom?
No.
Do you support the Constitution?
Yeah.
You support the Constitution? That's all I'm doing is exercising my rights, man.
And I said fourth, but I did mean first.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me ask you.
I heard you too. But I wasn't going to correct you.
Hey, so let me ask you a question real quick. If I didn't have no camera, and let's say I was just sitting right here praying, would you have an issue with that?
If somebody came in and asked me and told me that they were uncomfortable
with me praying,
and I didn't know what you were doing,
I'm praying. It's clear I'm praying.
If I didn't know what you were doing, and
what if you see me on my knees, bowing down with my rug out, and I'm out here praying? Would you have an issue with that?
I would not, but I would have to come out and make sure, because I had people that came in and said that they were uncomfortable with you filming outside.
We get a lot of.
But what if somebody was uncomfortable with me praying?
We have to check.
I'm just giving you a scenario now. Let's just play. We should play around now.
Right.
If somebody had an issue with me praying right here, you would come out here and say something and try to move me?
Come out and check.
We would
to make sure, because I need to make sure that you're not up to anything. For instance, with the filming, I don't know what you're filming for or whatnot.
I said if it was no camera, I'm just praying.
Right.
But we still
need to come out to
check on you.
Okay. And I say, excuse me, sir, I'm in the middle of prayer.
Passed out in our parking lot.
Oh yeah, for real.
And so we have to come check and see what's going on. That's just what we do.
And like I told this gentleman, there's nothing wrong with calling the police on someone. There's nothing wrong with you approaching. My only pushback is I told you exactly what I'm doing and who sent me and why. It's okay. These are all just.
I'm curious who sent you. I'm just.
And Ray and Pookie.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Means nothing to me.
You don't know Ray? You don't know Ray?
Don't know Ray. Yes.
You know Craig or Day Day?
No.
You don't know Smokey or Day Day?
No. I know Debo.
Okay. Look at you. Hey, look at you, man. Yeah, man. That's what's up. He caught that.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, he caught that. Yes. So I really just go around and
hey, you're right.
I exercise.
And there's a lot, like I said,
and I'm teaching people. A lot of people don't know that you can do this.
Where's your biggest, like the post office? Are you from Junction City area?
People do that. I'm from Earth. I'm from the United States.
I didn't know if you were local, I guess was the question.
Yeah. Hey, so the
post office give you the biggest pushback?
Who?
The post office or federal government, government building.
I really don't have that much luck with post office. I had my share with them. My biggest thing is with banks. You know? Do you know anything about the bailout in 08, 09?
He was barely born.
I was barely old enough to know what was going on.
Yes, y'all borrowed a lot of money from taxpayers to get out of debt. It's called the bailout. So what's a bank that wasn't? It was associated.
Your biggest banks.
Okay.
We're a small community bank. We didn't have.
But
that.
I use you guys to educate people. Yeah, that's all. You was kind of just a pawn in a chess game.
Unfortunately, you were.
And I hope you don't take it personal. I had to use you to show people, to highlight this officer. He actually understands the law because he's a law enforcer, not a feelings enforcer. So I educate people. A lot of people don't know you can do this. Another thing I do is I go inside of a city hall, post office, police department, and I can go and request his hiring date, his salary, his email, all of that. People don't know you can do that. Because he's... Yeah. Public. That's the whole thing. Public. Whether it's a public government building or a public sidewalk. Because check this out. You can't trespass my eyes. Anything I see from...
First Amendment, they're allowed to do that. So go YouTube it.
And I understand.
Quite a bit actually.
I appreciate.
What's going on, man?
seen him pull up. I'm like, he can't be for me, because Pocket just left. Look at that old car.
Donald Trump just declared war on a fellow Republican for a very stupid reason. And if you're looking for reasons for hope that the Trump train is coming off the rails, get cozy. This story is going to leave you with an afterglow. Welcome to the David Reddish Show. Welcome to the show, beautiful Occupy Democrats viewers. I'm David Reddish. Before I begin, I need to let you know that our show will be on an abbreviated schedule tomorrow since I need to have jaw surgery. Don't worry, it's a minor revision and I plan to be back on the air on Monday, possibly wearing a veil or a hijab if I swell up too much. Your well wishes are appreciated, as are your donations to my Ko-Fi Recovery Fund. Follow the link in the description. Also, make sure you subscribe to our new channel now to stay up to date on stories like these. We're pushing for 500,000 subscribers as soon as possible, and when we hit it, we are partying down, so long as I'm no longer on pain medication. But okay, let's get to our story, shall we? You may have heard that amid all the congressional sparring over the Epstein files and an impending government shutdown, see our other videos for more on those stories, as you may have heard, the Orange Menace is planning to host the annual governor's meeting next week at the White House. But this year, he is making some changes. Here's a rundown.
A break from long-standing Washington tradition, the Trump administration is not inviting any Democratic governors to the National Governors Association's meeting at the White House next week. Democratic governors Wes Moore and Jared Polis have also been excluded from the political organization's dinner with the president. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is at the White House following this for us. Natalie, explain why these Democrats are being left out of these what are supposedly bipartisan events, and what's been their reaction to the exclusion.
Yeah, Vlad, this is an annual tradition that goes back decades, and we're talking about two separate events. The meeting of the National Governors Association that happens in Washington every winter usually includes a White House component where bipartisan governors come here to the White House and meet with cabinet secretaries and staffers. The NGA says this year the White House is choosing to invite only Republicans, saying they're very disappointed that that is going to now be a partisan event, and saying for that reason it's not going to be an official NGA event. And then there's the black tie dinner, which again is a bipartisan dinner since the NGA is bipartisan. But this year, we are learning that invitations to Maryland Governor Wes Moore and Jared Polis have been pulled, that they are not invited. Moore actually revealed this in a statement, saying in part that as the nation's only black governor, I cannot ignore that being singled out for exclusion from this bipartisan tradition carries an added weight, whether that was the intent or not. He also called it an example of blatant disrespect and a snub to the spirit of bipartisan federal-state partnership.
So, Trump only wants to meet with other Republicans, huh? That may seem all too predictable, given that President Syphilis always demands fealty, but there is a twist here. Believe it or not, one Republican governor, Oklahoma's Kevin Stitt, actually came to the defense of Democrats last night, and Donald Trump, in predictable fashion, had an online meltdown. Check this out.
New tonight, Governor Stitt called out and insulted by President Donald Trump online today.
The fallout stemming from events involving an annual gathering of governors at the White House.
So traditionally, there are two events for the president to host, both a bipartisan work meeting and a black tie dinner at the White House for attendees. But several Democratic governors said that they would not attend this year after the president did not invite all of them. Governor Stitt is the chair of the NGA, the National Governors Association, and sent a letter to his fellow governors saying, quote, "We cannot allow one divisive action to achieve its goal of dividing us."
And in his letter, Stitt said that the NGA was informed of the White House's decision to limit invitations to the annual business meeting, and due to the organization's mission to represent all 50 states, NGA would no longer be serving as facilitator for the event.
Well, President Trump fired back at Stitt online today, calling him a rhino, an insult meaning Republican in name only. Trump says that he actually invited all governors except for two of them, the Democratic governors of Colorado and Maryland, saying, quote, as usual with him, Stitt got it wrong.
Well, the governor's office says a lot of this is simply miscommunication and bad timing, and sent us a statement today saying Governor Stitt received his invitation on Monday and looks forward to the rest of his colleagues receiving their invitations today.
But new tonight, the president has already doubled down, making another post about Governor Stitt on his site Truth Social, saying, when Kevin Stitt, the very mediocre, at best, rhino governor of Oklahoma, was losing his election to a Democrat, primarily because he did a bad job, he called for my help. I endorsed him, and he won. Sorry, my cherished Oklahoma, to have done that to you.
Oh, and the tensions don't stop there either. Despite clarifying that Democrats would actually be invited to the meeting, except for Wes Moore and Jared Polis, Trump continued to attack Kevin Stitt. In another post this morning, Trump wrote that Stitt, quote, was massively behind his opponent in his previous election for governor, close quote, and called him to ask for help. Trump then added that he barely endorsed him and Stitt won his race, but that Trump looks forward to the arrival of Stitt's successor since Stitt is term limited and cannot seek another term after he leaves office in 2027. So we have a little family feud here, huh? Actually, at the rate we're going, with Trump officials and President Strokey Pants himself, we're not far off from some kind of game show, or, more accurately, a reality show. A very bad reality show. These people make the Jersey Shore look like 60 Minutes, but never mind. And as Democrats in the Congress continue to hold out for ICE reforms, what do you think the nation's governors will have to say about it all? Like I said, grab the popcorn and the opera glasses and pour a very tall one. This show is just getting started. And regardless of how swollen I get after my procedure, count on us to keep you up to date on all breaking stories in American politics. This is The David Reddish Show.
Who's worked so hard on this, and some other terrific people. Thank you very much. But I'm pleased to be joined today by EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, who you all know, and to announce the single largest deregulatory action in American history. That's a big statement in American history, and I think we can add the words by far. Under the process just completed by the EPA, we are officially terminating the so-called endangerment finding, a disastrous Obama-era policy that severely damaged the American auto industry and massively drove up prices for American consumers. Prices went up incredibly for a worse product. This action will eliminate over $1.3 trillion of regulatory costs and help bring car prices tumbling down dramatically. You're going to get a better car. You're going to get a car that starts easier, a car that works better for a lot less money. In 2009, Barack Hussein Obama, his EPA designated fossil fuels such as oil, gas, and other things that actually make factories rock and roll and other things drive very nicely as a threat to health and human welfare, known as the endangerment finding. This determination had no basis, in fact, had none whatsoever, and it had no basis in law. On the contrary, over the generations, fossil fuels have saved millions of lives and lifted billions of people out of poverty and all over the world. And you see it with the blackouts all over where they don't use it where they went to wind, intermittent wind, which is weak and ineffective and very, very costly, most costly energy there is. And people are dying because there was no air conditioning or there was no heating. Lots of other things, bad things happened. And yet this radical rule became the legal foundation for the Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in history, probably as great, maybe even greater than Russia hoax, etc., which the Obama and Biden administration used to destroy countless jobs. And the jobs have been just decimated. Although they're all coming back because of tariffs, they're all coming back into our country at levels we've never seen before. But it raised prices and caused immense harm to the U.S. auto industry. We thought irreparable, but we've got them back. We're coming back now. I was in Detroit, as you know, with Ford, and they had one of the earliest plants from the early 1900s, and it was going to be closed down. And then when I won, they said, let's keep it open for a little while. Let's see what happens. And they just announced, as you know, they're going 24 hours around the clock with that same plant that was going to be closed because of what we've done. For example, under the endangerment finding, they forced the hated start-stop feature onto American consumers, which unnecessarily shuts off a car's engine when you stop at a red light. In other words, the engine goes off. That's great. The endangerment finding was also used to impose the massive and really very expensive electric vehicle mandate, expensive in the sense that nobody wanted it. Everybody was going to be forced to buy an electric car in a very short period of time, even though you can't power the car, because we would have had to spend $5 trillion on power stations. That's all dead, gone, over. These crippling restrictions were a major factor in driving up car prices to unprecedented levels, and the car that you were getting was not nearly as good. In 4 years under the Biden administration, the price of a new and used car rose more than 22%, all to facilitate the Green New Scam without achieving any meaningful impact on the environment, but making the car worse. That is why, effective immediately, we are repealing the ridiculous endangerment finding and terminating all additional green emission standards imposed unnecessarily on vehicle models and engines between 2012 and 2027 and beyond. This action will save American consumers trillions of dollars and will lower the average cost of a new vehicle by close to $3,000. Think of that. During my campaign, I promised to cut 10 old regulations for every new regulation. And we've exceeded that. We've instead done it 10 regulations. We were able to cut 129. So now we cut 129. So think of that. I promised to cut 10 old regulations for every new one, but we did more than 10. We did 129. It's something, nobody can even believe it. So we did a lot of regulation cutting in the first administration, a record, nobody even close to it now. We're actually exceeding it in this administration. The biggest one yet that we've done is happening right now. So perhaps no industry has benefited more from our historic deregulation campaign than the U.S. auto industry. We canceled the EPA's absurd, just totally absurd, tailpipe emission standards, which was a disaster for automobile manufacturing, and revoked Biden's emissions waiver that would have allowed California to regulate automobiles for the entire nation. And they're crazy out in California. They have nothing but trouble out there, as you know. That's why people are leaving in record numbers. I also ended Joe Biden's extreme CAFE emission standards, saving the average American consumer much more than $1,000 when they buy a new car. But now we're talking about close to $3,000. These regulation cuts, combined with our tax cuts and tariffs, are the reason why the world's largest automakers have announced that they're going to be spending in excess of $100 billion in the United States in the next very short period of time, building new auto plants. We're bringing our auto plants, assembly plants, and factories roaring back to life. not even mentioning AI and all of the other things. We're building thousands of businesses in the United States. And if you remember, on my first day, they said if I could ever get the Dow up to 50,000 in my last year, in other words, in the fourth year, that it would be an unbelievable miracle. But don't worry about it, because it'll never happen, they said. And if I could get the S&P up to 7,000, they said in the fourth year, they said it will never happen. Let's not even talk about it. I have things. Let's not even waste our time talking about it. Well, at the very end of my first year, the Dow hit 50,000. Now it's over 50,000. And 3 days before that, the S&P hit 7,000. So we didn't have to wait till the end of the fourth year. We just waited till the end of the first year. We've never had a country in a position like this, and a lot of it's due to tariffs, and a lot of it's due to the fact that we had a great election, and a lot of good things have been done. One of the good things I did was put Lee Zeldin in charge of our environment. So I'm going to ask Lee to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lee. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a big deal. Under President Trump's leadership today, the Trump EPA has finalized the single largest act of deregulation in the history of the United States of America. Referred to by some as the holy grail of federal regulatory overreach, the 2009 Obama EPA endangerment finding is now eliminated. This action will save American taxpayers over $1.3 trillion. What that means is lower prices, more choices, and an end of heavy-handed climate policies. With today's announcement, American families will save over $2,400 for a new vehicle. 16 years ago, an ideological crusade within the Obama administration set off the most costly regulatory power grab our country has ever experienced. The 2009 Obama EPA endangerment finding led to trillions of dollars in regulations that strangled entire sectors of the United States economy, including the American auto industry. It claimed new powers over the vehicles we drive, even though the best reading of the Clean Air Act clearly states otherwise. The Obama and Biden administrations used it to steamroll into existence a left-wing wish list of costly climate policies, electric vehicle mandates, and other requirements that assaulted consumer choice and affordability. And who paid the biggest price? Hardworking families, small businesses, millions of Americans who just want a reliable, affordable car to get to work, take their kids to school, or go to church on Sunday. The endangerment finding and the regulations that were based on it didn't just regulate emissions. It regulated and targeted the American dream. And now the endangerment finding is hereby eliminated, as well as all greenhouse gas emission standards that followed. The red tape has been cut. Manufacturers will no longer be burdened by measuring, compiling, or reporting greenhouse gas emissions for vehicles and engines. And the forced transition to electric vehicles is eliminated. No longer will automakers be pressured to shift their fleets towards electric vehicles, vehicles that are still sitting unsold on dealer lots all across America. And as a cherry on top, we are ending the federal government's push to get manufacturers to install that Obama switch, the almost universally despised start-stop feature. There will be no more climate participation trophies awarded to manufacturers for making Americans' cars die at every red light and stop sign. It's over, done, finished. Under President Trump's leadership, vehicle manufacturers can once again build what Americans want, not what politicians and bureaucrats in Washington demand. President Trump campaigned on reviving the auto industry, and he continues to deliver win after win after win, ending electric vehicle mandates, getting rid of the Biden cafe standards with Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, and securing massive new U.S. manufacturing investments and all of the jobs that come with it. Affordable cars mean opportunity. That means jobs, healthcare, education, and mobility. especially for working families and rural Americans who rely on their vehicles every single day. And this isn't just about making the American economy boom. It's also about restoring the rule of law, a fundamental principle of our great republic. For years, unelected bureaucrats twisted the Clean Air Act into something it was never meant to be. The Obama administration twisted itself into some kind of mental pretzel to invoke authority it didn't have and to sidestep Congress. They claimed that 6 greenhouse gas emissions from vehicles, some of which aren't even emitted from vehicles and trucks, contribute some amount above zero to global climate change, what they said endangered public health. But their wild web of mental leaps isn't prescribed in federal statute. The Obama EPA's House of Cards upended the best reading of the Clean Air Act. Then buy that. Powered vehicle or hybrid, well, more power to you. That's what freedom and choice.
The glass is filthy.
Well, you washed it.
I certainly does not. I don't want to.
You'll just have to scull that, then wash the glass, and
okay.
Or take the bottle over to the sink and carefully pour it back in.
I'm just.
Oh. You can't blame anybody else but yourself.
Claim that.
Hi guys. Anyway, while Beck watches her dirty glass that she didn't wash properly, I'm drinking Yeti today. Oh, no comment from Beck.
Huh?
No comment from you.
I didn't know I was meant to make a comment.
Oh. Anyway, I'll see how I go. I've already done 3 hours of podcast today, so I'm a bit cast out.
You can talk
watched
underwater.
That yet?
I'm washing it. I'm making sure it's thoroughly washed.
Make sure you use warm water.
I did.
So your wine's warm on a 30-degree day. It's no fun
nice
at
and
the
clean
moment.
now.
Sorry?
It's nice and clean now.
It's nice and clean.
Yes.
Well, you can only blame yourself. You're the person who uses that glass.
I wasn't trying to shift the
You're
blame.
the person who drinks out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't shifting blame at all. I was just merely commenting on how filthy it was. Obviously didn't do a very
It
good
might be
job.
like the thing on the other side of the glass.
What thing?
The filthy thing.
Oh, me. Not filthy. Yeah, dishes aren't my... Well, actually, stacking the dishwasher is apparently not my forte.
Are you going to hi guys, or are you just going to
Oh, hi, guys.
interrupt straight into it? What would that sound for?
Facebook Messenger.
Uh,
Hi, guys. I've cleaned my glass. And today I am drinking Symphonia. I think I had this one a few episodes ago.
yeah, you've had this twice.
Oh.
You like, isn't it a Taman?
No, this isn't the Tempranillo.
Oh, it's not the Tempranillo.
Oh, no, it is the Tempranillo.
Yeah, I thought that was the same. Oh my God, that one brain cell is losing its memory.
What?
What? I think we'll have to have that brain cell looked at.
No, it's fine.
It's not related to your tooth, is it?
No. No, it's fine. We don't have to examine the brain cell. Just let it bounce around.
Bounce around.
It's fine. So I had a bit of a laugh this morning. Yesterday, I posted a photo of me on social media that has caused quite a stir when we first originally took it, because it's me on a beach and the horizon isn't straight. I'm straight. I'm perfectly fine, but the horizon isn't, and everyone was up in arms.
Are you straight, are you? Oh. The world now knows Becky's straight.
Everyone was all up in arms about it. Anyways, I reposted it and put in the caption something along the lines of, yeah, like, landscape photographers care about straight horizons, but fashion photographers care about the subject. And the amount of people on Facebook that didn't read the caption and then were very nice people, they straightened the horizon for Peter.
Yes.
2 of them.
That was so nice of them.
2 of them straightened it and then posted their straightened version. Apparently your composition is really bad as well.
Yes, that's fine. It's really. I want to know at what point you have the right in life to tell somebody else their work isn't good. Like, do you have to do a degree in something?
I think so. It tends to be people that have degrees.
So as long as you've got a degree in something, it means that your opinion is right and everybody else's is wrong.
Yes.
So they might not have earned a single cent out of their photography.
Yes.
They might never have sold a single picture, but their opinion is because they did a degree.
Because they have straight horizons. I just thought it was giving me flashbacks to when you put up the photo of Bella and some very lovely person saved it and edited out the foot for you.
Yes. And then most of the comments said, oh, you just wrecked the picture. It doesn't look any good anymore.
I liked the people that were complaining about it, and then people were like, did you read the caption? That was kind of the whole point. I was having fun with it.
Yes, I'll have to have a look. I haven't looked at any of them.
It's very funny.
I saw 1 or 2 comments on Instagram, and I just didn't answer the ones that were... I know, someone commented, what would you bother with that stupid bag?
I think there was someone I saw on Facebook as well. I answered from my own account because they said something about the bag as well. And I was like, well, because fashion, and also where else am I going to put my flask of wine and my vape?
I really don't get it. I know what urges people to think they need to comment. And I've said this millions of times before. Like, if you don't like a song on an album, are you going to send the band an email saying, I hate that song on your album?
I just have fun with them.
No, I just meant in general.
I know, I get you.
If someone brings out a movie, do they look up the director and send the director a message?
No. Speaking of...
what's
Another favourite pastime of mine is reading bad reviews. And the Fancy Pants restaurant we're going to on the weekend, I was reading their reviews, and I like going sort by lowest. And
I'm the one who told you to do that.
No, I already knew how to do that. I do that quite often.
Well, when we're talking about the Korean place, you said, oh, it's got 4.6. This must... I said, read the bad reviews.
That's not...
And very quickly you've gone, oh, yeah, paper plates,
Yeah, I know, but that's not like... wasn't like a profound, I've just learned something moment.
Oh, sorry for not teaching you.
I was looking at the bad ones, and the best is when you go on TripAdvisor and you find someone it tells you how many reviews they've left. Or if they leave a bad one, you click on their profile, and the best ones are when they only ever leave bad reviews for places. Oh, you're a Karen. But no, I've been loving places that when someone leaves a bad review, the owner responds is real sassy towards. During lockdown, I got crazy on
Airbnb, and Airbnb said, really like it, all those corner places, the fatter bread.
You'll just...
Are you needing assistance with anything?
I'm sorry?
Are you needing assistance with anything?
I don't know.
Okay, I just see you recording, so I was just making sure you weren't... Is there anything I can help you with?
No, I'm just shooting a video.
Okay.
You got a sucker?
Do I have a sucker? I
Yeah.
do. You want a sucker?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can. What's your name?
My name's Kelsey. I'm
Kelsey?
the assistant manager.
How you doing, Miss Kelsey?
I'm doing great.
Yes.
It's just for security purposes. Generally, when people are videoing, we just have to ask them if they're needing any assistance because, videoing inside is not permitted.
No, I'm just shooting a positive video. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can record?
Outside.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in or on you guys' property.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Miss Kelsey. Look at Miss Kelsey.
There you go.
What kind you give me? Let me see if you got style. Butterscotch?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I guess it's in season or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Sure. Are you recording me?
Yes.
I'll ask you to please stop recording me.
I'm doing this part of my video though.
Yeah, I'm not able to do like an interview on a camera.
No, I won't go do it.
I cannot answer any questions on camera. I can forward your inquiries to our media response team if you'd like.
Who's in charge in there?
I'm the assistant manager.
Yeah, the question was just because I can't really see it from here. Where's you guys' vault located?
I do not need to provide you with that information, but if you do have some information you're wanting recorded, I can forward that over to our media team for you. But
Yeah, I was just trying to see where it's located. Would you know if it's climate controlled?
I do know information, but I'm not permitted to provide that to you. Like I said, if you want some more information, I can forward it over to our media team.
You wouldn't be able to
answering any questions.
You wouldn't be able to.
Especially on a recorded video.
You wouldn't be able to say like if it's climate control. Like is the vents big enough to crawl through to do maintenance work?
On video. If you want me to forward any information to our media team, I'm more than happy to do that.
Okay, I was just trying to see if the vent's big enough to do maintenance work.
Would you like me to forward that to our media team?
Yeah, you can if you like.
Let me gather your information. Give me
Okay.
just a second.
Should be right back out.
What's your first name, sir?
Huh?
What's your first name?
I never gave it.
Right, to forward the information to the media team, I need your information.
You can just write down D.
Is that D-E-A-N?
No, the letter D. A.
Oh, D. I'm
yes.
sorry. Okay.
D A D D Y.
And your last name?
You can just put that down.
Sir, I need to know your information if you want me to forward it to our media team. This is not an accurate name.
It is soon. What do it say?
Okay. What is your last name so I can forward this?
I'd rather not give that.
Okay, then I can't forward it to our media team for you. But I am gonna have to ask you to please stop recording, especially with our computers and sensitive personal information. If you could get away from our windows while you're recording, please.
Yes, Miss Kelsey, I have no intention of going like in or on you guys' property. And I'm not gonna be long. I'm just gonna be like maybe like a couple hours.
If you could just move it off of our property.
I'm not on your property. I'm on the subway side.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that I can see you recording into our
Yes,
building.
yes.
I've asked you to please stop. So please stop recording into my building where there are personal account information that you can see from here. So please stop recording right here. You can go around away from the premises, but I'm going to ask you to please stop recording where you're at right now because you can see all of that for security purposes.
Am I standing on your property right now?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to stand right here just for a few hours, Miss Kelsey. Okay. I'm not going to be long. And what is your last name?
My last name's Cortez.
Cortez?
Yeah, I'm happy to
You answer the Cortez? When's your date of birth?
I'm not providing you with my date of birth.
You want me to give me your date of birth?
I am done having this conversation. If you need anything else, you can stop recording and come in and talk to me.
What is your zodiac sign? Would you be able to at least say what's your zodiac sign? Let's catch these people, man.
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
What you doing?
Exactly what you doing?
What are you doing out here? Doing to my space?
What space?
Huh? I own the property.
Okay, I'm not on your property.
You are on my property.
This is your property?
I own this property.
You own this where I'm standing right now?
You know I do.
I challenge you on that. You don't own this, bro, sir. Okay. Respectfully.
Okay.
Respectfully.
So what are you doing?
Exactly what you doing.
What are you doing? Why are you recording my building?
I was actually over here, and she butted in. She never told me to leave, but I can see off her expression it was an issue, and I got off their property.
Okay.
Is that correct? Is that correct? Did you say anything to me?
No, I have not.
You didn't? But I saw you looking at me when I was over there, and it didn't look pleasant, so I got off your property after that and never got back.
Hey y'all, I'm here with my friend Robbie, and
Hello, Peter.
Hi.
Peter, how are you?
Hi. What's up?
All right. I'm Officer Mafali with Morristown. We actually met
Am I in trouble? Criminal?
No.
Okay.
You're not in criminal trouble. However, you need to speak with a skip counselor based on stuff that you've posted on YouTube recently and the email that you sent to all the Jewish leaders as well as the Cherry Hill Police and the Morristown Police. About it on Sunday evening when you sent that.
Who said what?
Sent the email.
And what in the email?
The fact that it...
Let me just step out. I don't need to be claustrophobic here. I'm not doing anything.
Hey,
You
Peter.
said I'm not in trouble, right?
No, not in trouble.
All right.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got butts and I cannot lie.